number 1 of 11 rounds of the World Cup this year, and then we're going to follow that with our World Championships. My name's Matt Payne, and I'm going to be putting words to all of the action this year once again, and it's great to see the venue really going to town for race number 1, the round number 1 coming from Abu Dhabi. We're at the side of Wolfie's bike shop, and like many people who's grown up spending a lot of my time in bike shops, you haven't seen anything like Wolfie's. An absolutely amazing venue, and we circumnavigate our way around. We've got some amazing features that we're going to be bringing you a few more details of as well. And you can see we're right on the coast of Abu Dhabi, on the coast of the United Arab Emirates, and out on the island you can see lots of people making the way down to watch some great racing. Now, we're expecting lots of action as our riders kick in to gear and make their way round the track. The riders at the moment on a warm-up. So far, they've done the first part of XCE, which is the time trial. This is their qualifier. This is how we know who's the fastest, who's the slowest on this track, and that will vary from location to location. Our riders will go through and qualify if they're fast enough, and they basically need to be in the top 16 riders. Once they've done that, then we move on to what makes the Eliminator, the XCE, so unique within the mountain biking discipline. And that is the knockout stages, because of what we see is that the riders will eliminate each other on the way through. So in each of our rounds, we will have up to 4 starters. We will always have 2 riders moving on to the next round. So from the quarterfinals into the semi-finals, top 2 in each heat will go through. Any of the riders will be eliminated out from that heat and out from that semi, and so on until we get to the minor and the major finals. We cover what is a very short lap. It's generally a few hundred meters around, less than a kilometer, and it's very, very quick. So expect explosive action from the gun. Our riders have to be powerful, they have to be skillful, and they have to be technical, because this is about getting out from the blocks as fast as a track sprinter, then having the skills of a cross-country rider to hold on to that aerobic power, and then also having the abilities of a downhill or a trails rider to get over the obstacles. You can see here in Abu Dhabi, we have a lot of great features which are really going to test the riders. They've all been out practicing out and around the track, and that makes a huge difference to how it's going to ride. Remember, our obstacles that are out and around the track, we work out. We've got our Nissan Wave Rider, we've got the container drop, we've got the Wolfie's wall, which will bring us round that final corner that you can see on your screen and in and through the start finish area. They've got to go through that finishing gantry twice. Now, lining up on the start, we're going to start with our women's quarterfinals. This is the fastest 2 riders through to the finish, and lining up on number 1 we have Esther Berecki, we have Elodie Kuiper, and Gaia Tormena, the world champion who has taken everybody by storm. She is almost unbeatable in the preceding years. Is this going to be any different here today? Riders are lined, they're primed and ready to go. Who has got that fast start? Remember, 2 riders through, 1 rider won't make it through. They've got to be quick out from the gun to make this count. The first obstacle is effectively an oversized speed bump. It is nearly half a meter high, and it's got a real sharp point. Look at the speed of Gaia Tormena out from the gun, quickly out the saddle, and they're coming in to corner number 1. They've got to get over this ramp very quickly indeed. They do that, they're going to come around this next turn. This is the Nissan Wave. 2 sets of doubles as they go over. Gaia Tormena goes clear at the moment. The battle is at the back here, and it's really tight between Elodie Kuiper and Esther Berecki. So the world champion straight off that A line over the container, jump down in towards the Wolfie's wall rider and coming round to complete lap number 1. She's got clear air. The battle is behind this is where experience pays off. Behind, you can just see, it looks like LD Kuiper, the rider who was a last-minute call up into the racing, came over on a last-minute call, has got a little bit of a gap on Romania's Esther Berecki, but Berecki is continued to fight behind. But look at Gaia Tormena go. The world champion is showing she means business here today, straight up onto the top of the container. Look at that. Time to style it up, crosses up those bars on the way down off there into the wall ride, and round she goes. So it's going to be a cruise in, saving energy, saving the power, saving all of those. And what's behind the fight is on. And look at this, it looks like Berecki has gone round Kuiper on the distance further back. It's tight between them, but look at this, it is going to be Kuiper who gets it as they come out the corner. So, subject to confirmation by the timing teams, by the decisions on the line. Heat number one, a walk in the park, or should that be a ride around the bike shop for our world champion? That is Gaia Tormena. So, our first proper look out around the course in action. And we have it confirmed, our two qualifiers. We have our winner of the semi-final, LD Kuiper taking second, and our winner, Gaia Tormena, taking the win. And I think we can hear from Gaia Tormena down on the finish, a rider who has been absolutely flying out on the circuit.
Gaia Tormena, it was cruising to the finish line, it seems to be.
Yeah, this one was quite easy. Now the real race starts, and I'm a bit stressed, a bit nervous, but I will give my best as always.
You were a little bit worried about the condition because you were training for several disciplines. Was it the right preparation? It seems to be.
I'm not 100% ready for Eliminator. My shape is still growing. Yes, I'm training for different disciplines, but I think that this helps because I'm trying to catch the best from all disciplines and yeah, do my best in Eliminator, which is my main focus.
Okay, thank you, Gaia Tormena.
Great to hear from Gaia Tormena down there on the line, over the finish line, in what was a comfortable style really, as she made her way in through, and it means she goes through along with Kuiper. Our next round, this is semi-final number 2. They will be heading off. Who's going to go faster? Will it be Huberts? Will it be De Vries? Or will it be Vasey? The French woman very quickly off. You can just see they're all over the track, going over that bumpy section. Quickly up over the top, leading this race out is Laurie Vasey from France, looking like she's got a little bit of a gap here on De Vries. De Vries in the National Championship jersey, off that container drop, and that big drop down at the moment. All the riders taking the A-line round the wall ride. Our two leaders starting to open a gap, and you can just see in the distance Rachel Huberts of the Netherlands trying to close down on to the back wheel of her countrywoman and the national champion, that is De Vries, in the red, white and blue. But at the moment the leaders are clear. Interesting to watch these riders, some of our riders jumping over the doubles, some of them taking it easy. The wave ride, very, very interesting indeed to get that right, really tricky. They come through the forest section over this container drop in. This means that they're into the turn. They're now just fighting for pride to the line. It looks like it is going to be a relatively easy cruise in for them. You can just see the chase behind her coming there from Huberts, but Huberts not able to touch the two in front, and it looks like subject to confirmation it will be Vasey and De Vries who are going through into the next round. You can just see this start, it's so critical coming off those turns and into the wave ride. The Nissan wave ride really testing our riders before they go in through the sustainable forest section and onto this container drop made from shipping containers. This actually has an A and a B line. Our riders choosing that A line, dropping down, and those two leads very close together. Interestingly, when we move on, they are going to have to try and knock each other out. So it might have been easy for Vasey and De Vries, who are confirmed as our 1 and 2, but It's not going to be easy when we move on. You can just see those containers, the height of them over the top of that Nissan in the distance, and these riders know they have their work cut out. Now we have our next 3 quarterfinalists. Heat number 3, Borrelli and Matos and Reichenbach. They are the riders who have got to fight it out. Remember, 2 through 1 not going to make it. One's going to get eliminated here, and this is a lot closer from the start, but very quickly off from the blocks. It is Borrelli, so Margot Borrelli from France leading them around that turn, coming in to the bank here and onto the Nissan Wave Ride. Oh, and we've got a stack behind. You can see it's not easy to get that timing wrong, but fantastic pick up there, and it just looks like Nina Reichenbach with a problem on the wave ride there, quickly jumps back on again. Now she's going to keep on going here, but is the bike okay? She goes over that North Shore in the sustainable forest built to create a forest in the desert, and the time gap has opened up now. These two have got to play it smart here. They don't want to burn too much energy. They're going to be getting shouts from the side of the course to take it steady on the way round. Even this early section can cause problems for riders as they take off and land at pace, and we go up and over. You've got to get this wave round right. It's one of the what looks to be more simple obstacles, but you've got to get the pace and the flow right. Round that North Shore, through the sustainable forest, through the trees that are planted down in amongst the North Shore, over the container, drop and into towards Wolfie's wall ride. And it looks to me like that big kick is going to come from a Brazilian rider, Marcelo Lima Matos, who takes victory in front of Margot Borrelli. So the Brazilian, the French woman through, subject to confirmation, and Nina Reichenbach is going to be our last rider in through the line. But you can just see all the riders under pressure from the start, and here we are. That's a mistake. The front wheel dropped too much. He got caught on the second of the faces that the riders hit. You've either got to clear them or you've got to pump them smoothly. Didn't happen. Front wheel got caught. That took Reichenbach out of the action, and it left it clear for our 2 chasers behind. 2 chasers in front to clear the rider behind. So great to see the action here already. We're seeing riders starting to be eliminated, but good to see Nina Reichenbach finishing her ride there. So good to see that she's clearly up and ready. They're made of tough stuff, our bike riders, that's for sure. No rolling about on the floor, clutching their ankles, saying they're hurt. Now into our final quarter final. In here we have Marianne Fromberger on the left in the black, the big favourite here today. 3rd in the time trial. You can just see those Sara Gay Moreno quickly out of the saddle, pushing front of Sandra Jorda as they go up and over. You can just see those bikes land. Very easy for them to slide out as you go over that big one. Look at Fromberger go. She almost landed in the dip onto flat in between those two. Just look at this. She's down already now. She had problems with this section in training. Can she pick herself back up? This has left it wide open. Marianne Fromberger has had issues earlier on in this, and they are side by side. They're going to try and pick up pace on the top, but if you don't get that right on the drop down, that is going to cause problems. Now, this has left the way clear at the moment for Moreno to open up the gap here on Fromberger. Fromberger has had a lay down on that North Shore. She slid out on there twice. We've had extra friction stuck down, extra grip on that corner, but it's very slippery indeed. And Marianne Fromberger clearly not appreciating the North Shore there as they go in and over, but she's picked herself up and she's got herself in front of Sandra Jorda, and it looks to me like these are going to be our 2 qualifiers now. No problems this time round, but that is going to play on the mind of Fromberger. You can just see not carrying very much speed off there, only just making that drop off the containers down in towards Wolfie smoothly. So it's going to be a win in the quarterfinals for Sara Gay Moreno. Coming through to take a victory is going to be a Fromberger in 2nd place, and 3rd place should be Jorda. Now remember, all these results subject to confirmation by the commissaires. The UCI commissaires will be checking the footage to make sure everything was fair on the way through and that the riders followed the rules. You can see Fromberger here with a big gap as she goes around this turn, but it just slides out going through. She didn't get the weighting on the bike right, and that left the door open for Moreno. Now you can see the chasers on behind him, and Sandra Jordan coming up onto the wheels of Fromberger as it came in, but I think that lack of speed then caused problems for Jordan going up onto the bank. It's really steep, so that slope is 42% on the face of container climb, and that causes problems for our rider. But you can see it is Moreno and Fromberger who go through into our semi-finals with Sandra Jorda eliminated out. But what damage has that done to Marion Fromberger, one of the hot favourites here? Now on to the men's. It contains the world champions. So we have Abbas, then Gegenheimer, our world champion, former world champion, Perrin Gagné in the mix as well. All these riders know they have got to make this counter as Ricky Morales puts in a great push here. Tissot and Perrin Gagné gets the lead. Oh, Morales has gone down. We said that this was tricky as you come in at pace. They're so close together. Now, at the moment, two riders in the lead. Morales looks like he's picked himself back up again. There's not a lot of room for manoeuvre as you come around these corners. You've got to get that racing line right. You need those sharp elbows. You need to be able to muscle your way around. Gegenheimer, the world champion, looking behind. Former world champion, Tissot and Perrin Gagné, looking behind as well. These two riders are very experienced. Look at this. They're sitting up. So Gegenheimer in the white is just keeping the pace hot enough to come through. Now we're going to go in. This is a pyramid-shaped jump. Basically, it's a tricky lineup on and to a slippery landing, and this makes it difficult for the riders coming in. That's where we saw problems. Both riders get plenty of height on the way up over those doubles, but this problem, the crash there by Morales, that was enough to take him out. Now Tissot and Gagné are looking to take top spot. He puts the move in on Gegenheimer before they come into the wall ride, and it's just a little rehearsal of making a move up on the top. Plenty of room to race, plenty of space. They're going to roll in over the line fist bump as they come through. So the former world champion and the current world champion coming in and through to qualify. Now let's watch this again really closely. Come off from the start very quickly. Three riders in contention, the tight side line, and you could just see it was the takeoff that went wrong there. So Ricky Morales making that mistake on the way through, and that cost him so much time then. As they came around in towards the finish, you could just see a move by Tissot and Perrin Gagné to go around the side. They're going to be our riders in through the finish. You can see major problems for the riders here. So looks like bike issues there for Ricky Morales. So the Puerto Rican rider finishing not finishing the race, and Amin Abbas also not finishing. So our two qualifiers. It is the winner of the quarterfinal, that is Tissot and Perrin Gagné, and the world champion, the man who had an awesome season last time, also known as Mr. Moustache. It's Simon Gegenheimer, and we can hear from Simon now.
Simon, we have seen this is a track quite spectacular, but not without any risks. We saw with the women, Marion Fromberger already slipping a little bit. Now Ricky Morales. What do you think about yourself?
Yeah, it's not an easy one. First time in UAE, first time in Middle East, so it's a new adventure. There are some tricky parts. I think I could handle it pretty well. I'm now focused for the semi-finals.
We saw you already in the warming up this morning, and you look very sharp.
Yeah, I'm motivated for sure. I love this country. I've traveled here a lot, and yeah, I'm aiming for the podium. I'm still in, so let's focus on the race.
And defending your rainbow jersey.
Yeah, for sure. It's a long way to go. It's in October, so first of all the World Cup, and I'm keen for it.
Okay, congratulations, Simon Gegenheimer.
It's great to hear Simon Gegenheimer there, really aiming for the race, looking to get into those finals and defend those rainbow stripes through the season. Let's move on quickly on to heat number 2. Our men's quarterfinals heat 2 already action-packed. Who's going to take this? Klausman has a fast start. Demongeon on the right-hand side also very quick on the blocks. Will Roger Van Looy be able to challenge? The whistle goes and away go the riders, and a very quick start here by Klausman. He's known for having an explosive start, but they've got to get round the first left-hand turn. No slice, no slip so far into the wave ride. Here they come. We've seen incidents here as well. And look at the pace they're carrying there. They've got to be very careful. You want to land on the downslope to carry as much pace as possible onto the bank. Now, are we going to see some tactical moves? The B line is fast. It carries a lot of pace, but the A line is very quick indeed. At the moment, it's Klausman who is leading this race out. He has got a fractional lead at the moment. This is very, very tight indeed. On his heels is Roger, and this could mean that Demonjon has got to put something special in to make the move. Oh, he goes for the Morales line on the inside there. He nearly got that wrong, and Demonjon has muscled his way through, taking that risky inside line. He's moved up into second place, and he's pushed Roger down into third place here. So our German rider up on the front, he's leading. Demonjon pushes, he wants the inside line coming down in towards Wolfies. They've got the gap slightly at the moment on Roger. Roger's got to sprint now. He's got a kick. This is really critical as they come into the lane. Glassman comes in and through. Great ride by him and Demonjon. And that move by Demonjon, that was very, very, very brave indeed. The previous heat, we'd seen that slide out by Morales, but that was a big move. Roger really motoring his way round here as they came over the wave ride on away. The lap number one, the wave really not taking too much out, but coming back round out that first corner. Demonjon's move really pushed it on, and this is a man who means a business. Glassman and Demonjon both through here. Great riding here in Abu Dhabi. These amazing features built by the team here really are testing our riders. So Demonjon and Glassman through into our semi-finals. 7 Rocher and City of Van Looy eliminated. That's why it's called the Eliminator. One mistake, one slip, one slide, or leave the door open. These athletes will be in and muscling the way through. So 2 down. We're going to move on to our next heat. This is heat number 3. Anton Olstam from Sweden. Lorenzo says Quinten Strassenberger and Anton Birath. All 4 of these riders know that they could make this final. This is incredibly tight between these riders when it comes to positioning. Strassenberger had the fastest time on the qualifier, but he gets muscled in to 3rd place here. Fantastic start there by Anton Birath. Birath has really motored. Looks like Bottom's already gone flying from them, but Birath has the lead here. They're all over the track. They're carrying a lot of pace onto the Sustainable Forest North Shore, up onto the container. They go. There's nothing to choose between them. It's going to take a brave move, though, to move up at this stage. They've got to defend position on Wolfie's a wall ride. If you go too high, then somebody's going to take you on the inside. And you can see just how hard these guys haven't pushed to come into this turn at the moment. It is going to be Seres who's leading them through. So, fantastic start. Lorenzo Seres up into the mix along with Anton Birath. These are the 2 riders who, a mistake by Birath as he came through. Has that left door open? It has. Look at that. He made a gear change mistake, I think, on the way through. And all of a sudden, that second place that was looking secure is not there. What a move up over the top. It's going to be a fantastic result for Anton Olstam, who takes the win. There's Lorenzo Seres, who comes through. Quinten Strassenberger protesting that his line was blocked on the way in through that finishing straight. And Anton Birath went from 0 to 0 after making a mistake on the North Shore and getting a gear change wrong. What a heat on the way through. All action, nobody having a later, nobody stacking it on the way through, but we said it was going to be close, and it was. Seres led out. Birath was working hard, but you could just see very quick move, diving up the inside there, making it all count. Anton Olstam really did the damage on those last 2 obstacles, the wall ride along with the container drop. Well, it's confirmed. Strassenberger and Birath are out. Olstam and Seres go on to the semi-finals. And that means we have going to have a fantastic set of semi-finals. Very tight heat, and another tight heat here as well with some very fast riders. We have Patrick Pescara, we've got Eddie Stiebel alongside him. You can just see Nils Obed Ricker. And then on the far side is Daniel Castillo Nayolo. Now, all of these riders are fast out the gates. Nayolo had the fastest time in qualifying. Can he make that count? He's on the inside with riding with the. And that is from Eddie Stiebel. Stiebel riding from France has the lead at the moment. So it is for us, we're leading the ship of Stiebel, and they are shoulder to shoulder coming in. Big defense there coming from Nayolo as they come in up the top and behind. They're side by side now. They can't afford to take each other out going into that wall ride. You want to be in the mix. That second place is critical. First gets you a nice bit of breathing room. if you can hold position. And look at that move on the inside, Niolo side by side. This is where we saw that problem coming over the top here, and we saw Morales on the floor. Not happening this time. Now into the doubles. Who's going to take the pace? Who can carry that speed onto the North Shore safely into the bank? This is where Birth went backwards. Well, at the moment, it looks like our leading three able to make this count. No problems at all, but that second position is not secure. Not by any means. It's about who carries the speed off the top. It's going to come down to the sprint to the line. The win is a clean one. I think second place is going to go to Eddie Stiebel, but it's going to be only by a matter of a few centimetres. Well, the guys here at the island outside Wolfies really putting on their show. We've got some great racing. We've had our quarterfinals in our men's and our women's, producing masses of action, equal number of quarterfinals, semi-finals and races between our men's and our women's. Quality in mountain biking being at the forefront of cycling. It's been something that Mountain Bike's been very proud of, to show that equality, and you can just see all of our riders, all of our athletes doing an amazing job of getting some great action in there. And Castillo, Niolo and Stiebel go through. Also, Rika and Patrick Pescaro out at this stage. Wow, an incredibly frantic set of heats, and that means it is going to be very, very interesting as we move on, because we're going to have a real mix now into the semi-finals. Two semi-finals, as the name would suggest. Our first semi-final is going to be really packed for time, as is our second. We've seen the riders eliminated down, and we're going to have 4 riders in each of our semi-finals. Now, Didier de Vries, we have her alongside Loria Veti, and then the world champion Gaia Tormeno, and then Elodie Kuiper. De Vries and Kuiper both from the Netherlands, Veti from France, and Tormeno from Italy. Oh, a little bit of a start there by Tormena. She had a little bit of a false move there, but she didn't set off. She rocked it back again, had to kick again, and she's maybe not got as much of a gap as we would normally expect behind. This is going to be quite tight now. Gaia Tormena working those jumps really hard, landing on the downslope, carrying maximum pace, uses every millimetre of the track through the sustainable forest and on to the container, drop down, no problems. The world champion nailing this behind, though very, very close in second and third places as they're coming in towards the line here. So you can just see really close between Vasey, she's the rider all in pink, and De Vries, who is right on the heels. I was going to say is just in the move to go into second place. No, we said it was tight. That's not a commentator's guess, that's a commentator's prediction. That stuff didn't happen. Now, Gaia Tormena cruising at the moment, quickly up onto the banking behind. You can just see as the pyrotechnics go flying as they come over the top. It looks to me like this is a very, very easy indeed for our World Championships. Set the marker down behind. It's a good result here and through to the finals. And this is going to be Didi de Vries coming in and through. So Didi de Vries, who was 4th in the World Cup overall last time and last season, goes in and through. So quick start from Tormena, despite that little bit of a false start, then around it goes Tormena. Tormena leading this out, making it look very easy indeed as the pyrotechnics go off in the middle of the container shipping. Wow, a real fast ride as they come in and through. De Vries takes second place and will go through to the finals, but top spot goes to Gaia Tormena. She started this the first round the same way as she finished last season, in the lead and putting down a marker for everybody else. We can hear from Gaia Tormena, who's down for an interview right now.
Gaia, you started the season as you finished last season. We hear the commentators say it's the same old story.
We will see. The race is not end. It's not finished at all. My goal of today was to reach the final, so I reached my goal, and now full focus at trying to do my best and go as fast as possible.
During daytime it was about like 35, 36 degrees. Now tonight it's like 26, 27. Luckily we're right tonight.
Yeah. The temperature is perfect because you have hot when you're on the bike, and when you're off the bike, you're not cold, but it is super happy to be there and race in the desert.
See you in the final. Thank you, Gaia Tormena.
Well, great to hear from Gaia Tormena, a woman whose ambition, clearly her targets don't match the talent there. Our spectators get a great view of the world champion in action. And Gaia Tormena has been riding absolutely superb. To say she wants to make the final, I think that is probably an understatement from the world champion. But who can challenge? Will it be Borrelli, Matos, Fromberger, or will it be Hey Moreno on the far side? Are 4 riders riding ready to go. Hot favourite in the black is Fromberger, but she's got to keep it nailed. And Lima Matos knows that she could well and truly upset the apple cart here, but it is Fromberger who has nailed it from the start. She's taken the lead, and a little bit more cautious start, I think, from the initial gun as they come in and through. They're close together, but nobody wanted to carry too much pace in and make that mistake. Now onto this steep climb, 42 degrees. To give you an idea, that's almost the same as a velodrome and track banking. If you've been stood at the bottom of a velodrome, you wouldn't want to try and ride up the side, but that's how steep this bank is up onto the containers now. Remember, it's 2 riders through. Fromberger in prime spot, being chased by Marcela Lima Matos. Matos looking like she's in the secure place at the... We've seen it on occasion. Sarah Hayden chasing behind, and she's got to put something special in here to close that gap down now. Fromberger is taking this slightly steadier, I think, on the way over, saving some energy to go up over onto the container, drop down as some pyrotechnics go off there into a Wolfish wall ride next, and this will see them come across the line. But has Fromberger got the answer to Gaia Tormena's start? Will Gaia be able to get that to start super smooth? We will see. We're going to get those results confirmed. As soon as they are confirmed, we'll know who is through. So it looks like it's Fromberger Matos here in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, home to some seriously scorching temperatures. Some great riding, a massive network of dedicated cycle paths being built all the way around the United Arab Emirates, and particularly down in Abu Dhabi in Dubai. Great mountains as well, in the shape of Jebel Hafita, the mountain that's been used in the tour. Here, the big mountain is to climb up the containers. But one rider who certainly seemed to have made easy work of that was Marion Fromberger, who qualifies along with Marcela Lima Matos. So we hear from Marion Fromberger and see what she has to say this time around, where she was taking maybe a little bit more cautiously onto the North Shore.
When you're strong, Marion, you're strong, and even a fall in the quarters couldn't stop you. But we had the impression that you were a little bit more caution in the semis.
What?
You took a little bit care more in the semis.
Yes, I took a little bit more care in this corner over there because I already crashed in training. So, and now again in the quarterfinals, but I could make it to the semifinals. Would be great. It was super great to be there. So now I took a bit more slow and more safety first. That was my aim for this semifinal.
But even when going somewhat slower, you were still the best.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was great. It was super great to race here in Abu Dhabi against the ladies all over the world. It's great to be here.
Okay, Marion, we see you in the final. Thank you, Marion Fromberger.
So great to hear from Marion, who's picked herself back up again and shows just why these races are so good. They analyse, they spent months and years training for what is an incredibly fast race. It's over very quickly indeed. Now on to the men's semi-finals. Let's see if they can match the moves in terms of action. Demongeon, the man with big moves, on the way, and here's race up against Gegenheimer in the World Champions colours. But look at this, Klausman again with that faster starter. He's kicked out of the corner, he's on the inside line, and at the moment the world champion is on the back foot. He's the last man He's behind de Mongeon, not an easy man to pass to go up onto the containers. Klausman leading, Titouan Berengagne in second place, and this is for a spot in the finals. And Simon Gegenheimer with masses of work to do. The world champion really needs to get the power down. He loves racing in the XCE. It really is his specialism. He goes around the outside of de Mongeon coming in, but he gets pushed back. And now Titouan Berengagne moves up. And I think this is going to come down to who is going to be brave on the containers. And de Mongeon looking up the inside there of Titouan Berengagne in the French champions kit. Having a look over the top. De Mongeon pushes it, comes down that descent. He's going up on the shoulder. He can't get past here. He's on side by side now. He could get pinned in. It's going to be a drag race into the finish. Who's going to get this? Well, the world champion's eliminated, and the former world champion, Titouan Berengagne, he's on form. He goes through with his countryman de Mongeon, subject to confirmation from our commissaire. Look at Klausman. He went off quick. He was absolutely rocketing. I think it can harness some of the power that's lighting up the Abu Dhabi skies. So, Felix Klausman, the fast starter, eliminated the world champion Simon Gegenheimer, also eliminated from the race, and that means that Kylian de Mongeon and Titouan Berengagne are two riders who qualified from France, and France will have two riders in the final. They will be making the way in. Who will join them now? They're really interesting. Gegenheimer didn't seem to get a fast start, and it may well be that he's just not got the pace that he had initially in the very early rounds. He didn't qualify in top spot. He only qualified in 8th position, and maybe that was telling of what was in the tank. But it's a former world champion who took the win, and we can hear from him now. We can hear from Titouan Berengagne.
Titouan, you from the top, or from the bottom to the top, this was close racing. If we can talk about close racing, this was close racing.
Yeah, it was super fast with the 4 riders who have the same level, and yes, it was super close, super fast. Whew. I think it's a little final.
With the world champion now out, what a surprise!
Yeah, but yes, it's too close, and yes, it's I don't want.
Now to the final.
Yeah, to the final.
Okay, congratulations. Thank you, Titouan.
Well, great to hear from Titouan Berengagne there, who makes his way now to try and get those legs recovered, ready for the finals. Anton Olsthoff, Eddie Stiebel, Lorenzo Serres, and Daniel Castillo-Naiolo in the order left to right on your screen. Question is, who has got the quick start here? Is absolutely key to get pace up and move in here. Absolutely critical to give it big beats out. Look at that big showing of the door. You could just see it slamming that door shut as he came in and across. That was Anton Olstam, who really did make that his own. He cut the front of the bike just about off for Daniel Castillo-Naiolo, but Naiolo is the man in danger at the moment. Behind him, you can just see Serres and Stiebel in that order, and the man who is challenging Naiolo is going to be Serres, Lorenzo Serres, a real aggressive rider. He's got some great moves. We've seen him on the cobbles up in Europe, being able to challenge by able to really get the power down, putting in a late kick over the Nissan Wave. Right, they go in around the sustainable forest onto the north. It's short, lush grass down the middle, up onto the containers. Nobody getting put off by the fireworks that are exploding, and I think they're going to be really exploding. Look at that move. Naiolo goes high. He leaves the door open. He shuts it quickly, and it's going to be Naiolo who goes through with the race winner, Olstam.
Mexico is really happy with that. Second place for sure, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that was a ride by Olstam. He really put his face in. He kicked down hard. He took that win, but great riding by Daniel Castillo-Naiolo. He shut the door. Lorenzo Serres is a fearsome competitor, as is Eddie Stiebel, but it is going to be Castillo-Naiolo who goes through along with the winner of that semi-final. It is Anton Olstam from Sweden, and we can hear from him now.
outburst of joy after the finish line. An outburst of joy, and always we see every year, we see you sharper, more ready for the big work.
Yeah, I get more experience every year and know the guys and know the track, so I feel better and better. So
we can expect something from you in the final?
We will see. I hope so.
Okay, thank you, Anton Oostam.
Well, great to hear from Anton Oostam. We'll see whether he can replicate that in the final. It's absolutely critical that the guys get this nailed and get the recovery done now. They're absolutely screaming, their lungs are burning, the legs are exploding. They're racing around Wolfies here, this amazing bike shop in the heart of Abu Dhabi. A fantastic venue, and let's face it, if you want to go get the bike sorted out, you're right next door to the best place to do so. The riders now going to get as much recovery, they dive off, and that is where it pays to get qualified, get out of the way, get on the rollers, try and spin those legs down as the riders get ready for the next race. And in the men's final, it will be Titouan Perrin-Gagné, Kylian Demongeon, Anton Oostam, and Daniel Castillo-Miolo. Now on to the women's small final. This is for our positions from 5 to 7. So the riders lined up who will take away the best rider in this. All these three riders are very close in terms of performance. We're going to see just how quickly they can go here. It's certainly looking like it is a bit of a walk in the park at the moment. Our race leader may be wondering why she wasn't quite in the mix earlier on, because this certainly looks to me like she was has plenty in the tank, still opening that gap on second place rider here in the minor finals. So it is going to be Moreno who's sitting in second place. She's trailing Vaisi at the moment. So here they go around those corners. This is looking like it's going to be fairly settled after lap number 1, and it may well be the riders just feeling that. They've just got enough in the legs, not wanting to take any risk, but at the moment it certainly looks like Laurie Vaisi really showing why she was in the race, because she really has opened up a gap here, and an athlete who I think we're going to see really a figure in this season. Remember, this is going to be a 5th place position in the end of this round, round number 1 of 11. It's going to be a 6th place coming through behind Vaisi for Hey Moreno, and then it's going to be Elodie Kuiper, who after that late call did an amazing job of getting herself into the mix. Great to see that result, and that is going to settle those places for 5, 6 and 7 in the series at the end of round number 1 here in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, with Vaisi, Moreno and Kuiper in that order, and that is going to be the finish for them. They're going to be able to lock on and watch our next heat, our next final. Sorry, that is going to be our major final, and the major final will be containing our world champions. So no time for these riders to breathe. They're going to move on through. So our small final, the men's minor final for the positions 5 through to 8. Once again, Gegenheimer, Stiebel, Klausmann and Seres. Amazing talented athletes, fast off from the start, putting out thousands of watts down as they kick down. We've seen broken chains before, and Gegenheimer now very quickly up onto the front. In fact, going over the top of Klausmann. Klausmann made a mistake and putting off the rider behind, just getting shoved across the side there. You could just see Seres not in the mix there as Gegenheimer really starts to open up the race here. He really is starting to push on the front at the moment. Seres and Stiebel at the moment just in trouble a little further back, but you can see the chase from Klausmann not maybe fizzling out as much as we've seen previously. Klausmann's always had a great start. He's always run out of steam partway through. Not happening at the moment, and we're back over here where there was a mistake on the way through, and I think the commissaire team will be looking at that. But Simon Gegenheimer maybe just needing to do a few more of the sprint sessions and the recoveries to get that quick turnaround, because he's much quicker this time around than he was in the semi-finals. So looks like. Not getting that fast start. It's so critical to get it. He does it this time around, and it is going to be a win in the minor final. So 5th place is going to be Gegenheimer, 6th Klausman, 7th will be Stiebel, and 8th place should be Ceres, but that will be subject to confirmation. Don't forget, you can catch up with all of the results. The racing here, powered by City Mountainbike, and you can jump on to citymountainbike.com for all of the results. So Simon Gegenheimer ahead of Klausman, Stiebel, and Ceres in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th places, respectively. So amazing racing. We got faster and faster all the way through the racing. Simon Gegenheimer, the world champion in the minor final, not in the major final. In the men's competition, our world champion, and that, of course, is Gaia Tormena in the women's final, and the hot favourite after her performances so far. So great racing for our riders. We've had racing, in fact, all day here in Abu Dhabi, and the spectators and riders really enjoying the racing. We started just as it started to get dark, and the riders have been out and racing with lots of racing, kids racing as well. So great to see everybody taking part in the Eliminator. And one day, will they be in the final? Will we see these riders racing for victory in round number 1 of 11? We move on from here to Leuven, who will be taking the lead into Leuven. All will count. They need to make this count. We've got Fromberg in the black, and then we've got Matos from Brazil beside the world champion Gaia Tormena with those world champion stripes alongside her. It is, of course, Didier De Vries. De Vries, the rider who was 4th last year overall. Fromberg, 2nd last year. Gaia Tormena, the winner of the World Cup and the World Championships. Who will take this away? They've got to go from the start. This is where they need the maximum explosion of power. Well, who's gone off with a bang? Who's going to fizzle out? Massive kick from Tormena, but look at Fromberger quickly into the mix here. She's right up on the heels of the world champion, and behind her, fighting for that top 3 position. It's going to be close. Remember, this is for the lead, and Gaia Tormena comes down now. The bike is across the track, but she's unclipped. She picks up the bike. She's got to remount quickly, and that really has mixed things up there. On the climb, they've got to keep some pace up here. And are we going to see a massive upset? Gaia Tormena in the front, not able to change gear, coming through. The world champion sliding out, and this means that Brazil could be scoring big here, because Marcela Lima Matos in a position I'm not sure she thought she would be in at the end of lap number 1, leading this race out. De Vries can see that she can make the most of this. Really starting to kick onwards. Over that jump she goes, and Fromberger keeping it rubber side down. They all managed to slam the brakes on and not run into Gaia Tormena on the way through, but that then left everybody without speed going up the climb, and it was the riders in the slightly lower gear that could profit from that. And that means that it's Matos who drops down first, then it's De Vries, then it's Fromberger. They are our 1, 2, 3 as they come into a wall face. This is going to be a turn up for the Bucks. It really is going to really upset everything going into round 2. Look at the elation, because Matos takes the win. She's our World Cup round number 1 winner. What a ride. So Matos, De Vries, Fromberger, the 3 through. Matos had a terrible start there. She wheelied off the line. Look at the pace going in. Gaia Tormena comes in too hot now. It does slow everyone else down. You could just see Matos staying in the pedals, staying clipped in, could accelerate up that bank easiest. She had the most speed, the most pace. She made the most of it. De Vries could not challenge coming round, and Matos making this her own. She was given the chance. She took it with both hands. What a ride as she came in. We're going to get those results confirmed for you. But here in Abu Dhabi, what a change around at round number 1 with Gaia Tormena, the world champion, coming in 4th place. The top 3 riders: 3rd place Fromberger, 2nd place De Vries, and your race winner of round 1, Marcela Lima Matos from Brazil, coming through to take race victory. What a ride, what elation, and I'm not surprised that she's happy. And let's see if she can talk as fast as she took her chances down there, because Marcela Lima Matos, I think, is going to be able to hit for now.
Surprise.
The surprise. I leave my country to one goal is win, is here, my win.
And then you come to Abu Dhabi and you just win the World Cup.
Yes, I'm so happy about it because I love Brazilian people, I love representing my country. This is a form about give your something about your affect about me. I'm so happy.
And we're happy for you. Congratulations. And it's time for the flowers. Time for the flower ceremony.
Wow, what an amazing, amazing ride being done there by Matos. It has to be said that is an astounding, astounding win. So, great results, great riding, and great to see these riders in action and really absolutely nailing this. So, it is going to be Marianne Fromberger who takes that third place, Didi de Vries taking second, and Marcela Lima Matos taking top spot. And those riders absolutely nailing it when we had that issue for Gaia Tormenta, and you can just see the riders just getting ready to make the way up for that ceremony. So we'll get the riders assembled, and what a win for the Brazilian there, because an amazing job done by her. She came here with one goal, that was to take the win. She took second place in the qualifying time trial. She set that marker down and then she made the most of that chance. So our three riders are up. Taking third place, it is Marianne Fromberger from Germany, taking third place. Second place from the Netherlands, Didi de Vries, up fourth in the World Cup last time. But a win for the Brazilian rider, Marcela Lima Matos. What a ride and what a win. Great to see, and hopefully inspiring another generation, a whole new set of riders to come out and race on the World Cup. So what a women's final with the world champions sliding out. What will happen in the men's final? Great athletes all lined up, all ready to roll. We have former world champion in here. We have the riders wanting challenge, Anton Olstam here. What a rider, riding for Sweden, someone we know can kick out of those blocks very quick. The man with the moves as they come around those turns. It is, of course, a great ride by Kylian Demongeon to be here, but he has got to take this man out, Titouan Perengagné. He's our former world champion, riding from France. Will he be the fastest rider? He was fastest in that time trial, but it is the man who has protected his ride all the way through. Daniela Castillo Nayolo, a man who's picked himself up and been absolutely strong as anything going round. Who's got the kick from the start? This first corner tricky. We've seen slips, we've slides, we saw Morales go off on the corners. As they come through, the nerves will be jangling. They know they're into those last 15 seconds. The whistle will start the riders who will have the kick. This is it, the final race of the night. Who has got the power? Titouan Perengagné gets the whole shot. He goes into the first obstacle safely over there, just about. Nayolo sliding about, the tyres squirming underneath. But at the moment, the former world champion who qualified in first place for those quarterfinals has got the lead. But we've seen this is not all over, and already a challenge coming over the top. So much room to race on this track. It might be short in distance, but it's really wide. And a big move going over the top was Anton Olstam. He's saying it's not yours by any stretch of the imagination. You might have got the quick start, but it's not everything here. Great moves on the way through. Anton Olstam leading. They're back over the top now. Can Nayolo move up from the back and push? Are we going to see a Demongeon special pushing his way up and through? Oh, and another slide out. Same spot this time around. You can just see coming down. The bikes are tangled up. It's carnage down on that corner. And the man who threads his way through, remarkably, going to be the former world champion. Comes through to win round number one. It is Titouan Perengagné. He takes it. What a set of final races here today. Next up, second place is over the moon. I'm not surprised Daniela Castillo Nayolo goes through. Then it's going to be Demongeon coming in, and you can just see Anton Olstam Not making the guys, not going to make the top 3. What a ride by the former world champion. They came in and round. The slide out here on that corner in the next lap was absolutely critical.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what work is. I've seen a lot of people who don't know what thirst is. I've had a taste of evil and tried to cure the sickness, but I just keep my head down and focus on the facts. I'm setting down gravel while you just follow the path. I'll lead them into battle while you're just too scared to act. I'll leave the knife right in my back. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.